You know, sometimes I wish you weren't such a big liar.
Hell, you think I'm bad? I knew a guy down in Texas who was such a big liar that he had to get the neighbors to call his dogs for him.
What do you think of that one?
Dumb.
Why?
His dogs ain't believe him.
Say that again.
His dogs ain't believe him.
His dogs ain't believe him.
What are we doing?
Here, read this line.
Gee, it sure is cold.
Psh, you call this cold? I was up in Alaska once, went to check the time, and hell, it was so cold, even the hands on my watch were rubbing together.
Look at this big fish I caught.
Psh, you think that's big? Hell, over in Arkansas, the fish gets so big, you gotta use a crowbar for a fish hook.
Wow, what a big rainstorm.
Ah, this ain't so bad. The other day, it was raining so hard down in Virginia, hell, folks had to jump in the river just to keep from drowning.
Tough soil, huh?
Hell, this is nothing. Over in Maine, the soil is so rocky, they gotta load their seeds into muskets and shoot them into the ground.
Wow, that plane is flying pretty low.
Yeah, you gotta watch them low-flying planes. I knew a farmer down in Tennessee. One time a plane came flying so low over his farm, hell, vacuumed the feathers right off his rooster. Here, put this toothpick in your mouth.
Why?
Because you're doing this one. Wow, kind of a sketchy neighborhood, isn't it?
Psh, you think this is bad? Hell, I know a town up in Vermont with so many thieves that folks even have to take their stone walls in at night.
Great job.
I hear they got some real big bugs down in Utah.
They sure do. The other day, the mechanics at the airport thought they were filling up a big airplane. Hell, they put in about 5 gallons of gas before they realized they was filling up a moth.
How? Like what, you can't tell it's a giant moth? You think it's an airplane? Hey, you got a card in the mail.
Ah, hell, I know just what it is. See, I used to live in Maryland, and when I was out there, the skeeters got me real good. To this day, they still send me a Father's Day card every year because they got so much of my blood in them. Hey, are you having car trouble?
I got a flat tire.
Ah, hell, I've been there. One time I was driving through Nevada and this rattlesnake jumped out and popped my tire. Of course, the air all came rushing out and blew up the snake like a balloon. So I just grabbed the little sucker, wrapped him around the wheel, and went on my way.
That's a good one.
You like that one?
It's way too cold to start planting vegetables.
Hell, are you kidding? These are special seeds from up in Connecticut. I know a guy up there that crossed a tomato with a hot pepper. That way you can plant the seeds in February and the pepper side will keep the tomato side warm. Wow, what a long field.
Hell, you think that's long? I knew a farmer in South Dakota that left to go plow his field one morning, and by the time he got back, his wife was collecting a widow's pension check.
Wow, sure are a lot of fish biting today.
Psh, you think this is a lot of fish? Hell, I know a river in Delaware with so many fish, You can walk from bank to bank on their backs.
Well, we're out of gas. This ain't so bad. One time I was in a fishing boat off the coast of Louisiana. We were going for dogfish that day and we ran out of coal. So I went down to the tank, started tickling all the dogfish we caught until they started to bark. Then I took that bark, threw it into the furnace, and hell, we were home before the sun went down. That one sucks. Ooh. Wow, kind of chilly today, huh?
Hell, you think this is cold? I knew a guy in Montana who froze solid walking home one day. Of course, the Montana folk just hung a lantern on him and used him for a lamppost all winter.
All right, this one is an action instead of a phrase. Hell, gets so cold over in New York, they put meat in the freezer to defrost. Hey, are you packing for your trip to Hawaii?
Sure am.
Well, you better take this bug spray.
But I heard there wasn't a single mosquito in all of Hawaii.
Hell, that's right. There ain't a single mosquito in Hawaii. They all got married and had about 1 billion kids each.
Have you ever gone fishing in Alabama?
Oh boy, have I. I caught such a big fish down in Alabama one day. Hell, took about 48 hours for the hole he left in the water to fill back up. Checking which way the wind's blowing?
Sure am.
Hell, never need to do that over in Illinois. Out there, if you want to know the wind direction, you just poke your head out the window and see which way the barn's leaning. You gonna put in the air conditioning?
Sure am. Boy, is it hot.
Yeah, too bad we ain't from Arizona. Folks down there is so used to the heat, when they die and go to hell, they end up asking the devil for a blanket.
That one's pretty good.
You like that one?
Yeah, I do. Pretty tall tree.
Hell, nothing like they got over in Wisconsin. Out there, the trees are so tall it takes 2 men just to look to the top. One looks until he gets tired, and then the other picks up where the first guy left off.
Don't make 0 sense. You know they got a funny way of catching fish down in Florida.
Oh yeah? What is it?
Hell, they just chuck a plug of chewing tobacco into the lake and then club the fish over the head when they come up to spit. Hey, you want a fried egg?
Hell, I knew a woman over in Washington who was so lazy. She used to feed her chickens popcorn, so that way, when she fried an egg, the egg would flip itself.
Where are you going?
I got a call from my pastor friend over in North Dakota. Got so cold over there last night. Hell, they need somebody to come by and jumpstart their church organ.
Hey, I'm going to fix the roof on a barn down in North Carolina.
North Carolina, huh? Well, you better switch me hammers. They build barns so tall down in North Carolina, if you drop a hammer off the roof, the wooden handle will rot before it hits the ground. It's so cold outside, I better turn the heat up.
Psh, you think this is bad? I was in a farmhouse in Georgia one time and the flames in the fireplace froze solid. I broke a couple off, chucked them outside, and the chickens ate them up like corn. Hell, those chickens laid hard-boiled eggs for 3 weeks.
Wow, there aren't a lot of hills in this part of the country.
Yeah, it's nothing like West Virginia. Hell, down there you don't even have to go outside to check on your fields. You just look up the chimney.
Do you get it?
No.
It's so hilly if you look up the chimney, your cows are up there.
That makes zero sense. Wow, I think I hooked a big one.
You know, one time I was fishing over in Wyoming and I hooked a real monster of a bass. He pulled out every single inch of my line, so I hooked a loose thread from my sweater into the reel, and the whole thing started unraveling right off my chest. And hell, I would have caught him too, if only Grandma hadn't dropped a stitch. Wow, we sure didn't get much snow this year.
Yeah, nothing like how it was in Oregon. Out there, the snowflakes are so big, folks stick a handle in them and use them for an umbrella.
Oh, I almost forgot.
Hell. Well, looks like my friend just delivered her baby. Wow, 10 pounds. What a big kid.
Psh, you think that's a big kid? I heard tell about this baby born in Massachusetts one time. Hell, big fella was so large, they couldn't even name him all at once.
Dang, looks like the grasshoppers got to the crops again.
Ah, hell, this ain't so bad. One time I left 4 horses outside in Iowa. By the time I got back, the hoppers had eaten all 4, and hell, they was drawing straws to see who got to eat the horseshoes. All right, this is a big one, so you need a few toothpicks.
I have to do it.
Yes. Got him?
I think so.
Hey, do you know where the batteries are for the flashlight?
Hell, if we were in Michigan, we wouldn't need batteries. It gets so cold out there that the natives just wait for the sunbeams to freeze. Then they cut lengths out of the frozen beams and use those for flashlights. Wow, the fog sure is thick today.
This is nothing compared to how thick it gets down in Missouri. One time I was putting shingles on a roof. Hell, I hammered in about 25 feet worth before I realized I was shingling the fog.
You reading Moby Dick?
Yeah, reminds me of when I used to work on a whaling ship off the coast of Rhode Island. We harpooned such a big whale one time. Hell, he pulled us around so fast we left the ship's paint hanging right in the air.
Hey, what are you doing lying around? You're supposed to be working in the field.
Ah, hell, you're just lucky I'm not from Ohio. Out there, folks are so lazy it takes 2 of them to sneeze. One to make the noise, and the other to throw their head back. Are you washing your face?
Yup.
I knew a guy in Nebraska whose face was so greasy. Hell, every time a fly tried to land on him, poor thing would sprain its leg.
Why did it just fall off?
He sprains his little fly leg.
Like, whoa! Something slipped. Do the crops grow pretty fast in this soil?
Not as fast as they grow in Kentucky. Hell, down there you gotta tie a rock to the roots so the plants don't grow themselves right out of the soil.
That's a pretty old clock, huh?
Nah, I saw a grandfather clock in Pennsylvania one time that was so old, the shadow from the pendulum had worn a hole in the back of the clock.
Do the potatoes grow pretty big around here?
Hell, not near as big as they grow in Colorado. One time I tried to buy $100 worth of potatoes off a Colorado farmer, and he said, "Son, I'm not gonna sell you just half of one potato." Hey, are you shaving?
Yeah.
Hell, I knew a guy in New Jersey who was so tall, he had to get on a ladder just to give himself a shave.
Makes 0 sense. Pretty big mosquito.
Ah, he ain't so big. I was stationed on this Air Force base down in South Carolina. Down there, the skeeters are so big, they'll pick up your dog tags to check your blood type. All right, take a deep breath.
Wow, that's some fresh air.
You don't know fresh air till you've been to New Mexico. One time I was sick as a dog in bed, so I threw a thumbtack on the floor and called up my friend from Albuquerque. My friend biked over, and as soon as he came in my room, that thumbtack popped the tire on his bike. All that fresh New Mexico air came rushing out. I took a deep breath, and I was good as new in no time.
Where are we supposed to be? How far from New Mexico are we?
I don't know. I pretend to scratch your arms. What you scratching for?
Oh, hell. The mosquitoes got me pretty good last night.
Just be thankful we don't live in Minnesota. Out there, the skeeters are so big, they'll eat a whole dairy cow for dinner and then fly around ringing her bell trying to lure out the calf for dessert. Wow, all that snow sure melted real fast.
Hell, if you want snow, you should head up to New Hampshire. Up there, the snow sticks around so long it starts to grow moss.
All right, just bang on it. Not that hard. Bang on it lightly until I come in. Hey, you're pretty good at this.
Thanks.
Yeah, not like that last guy I worked with down in Indiana. He came up to me when we was putting shingles on a roof and said, "Hey, mister, the heads are on the wrong side of the nails." I said, "You moron, those nails are for the other side of the house."
You gonna plant some vegetables this year?
Yeah, I reckon I should. I couldn't last year because I was living in Oklahoma and the wind was so bad, hell, kept blowing the sun right off my tomatoes. Hey, I heard there's a real big dust storm on the way.
Oh, hell, I ain't scared. Once I was in a dust storm in Kansas that was so bad, I looked up and saw a squirrel digging out a burrow 20 feet off the ground.
He's digging a little home in the dust. Hey, you want some popcorn?
Hell, I knew a family down in California that was so dumb that when they made popcorn, the dad would hold the pan and the rest of the family would shake the stove.
You know, they got some real big mosquitoes over in Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
Yup, once I had 2 of them pick me up straight in the air, 1 on each arm. And after they got me up, one of them said to the other, "Hey, should we eat him here or take him back to the swamp?" And you know what his friend said?
What?
"We better just eat him here. If we take him to the swamp, the real big mosquitoes will take him away from us."
You know, I really love talking to you. You're a great brother and I really value our conversations. Sometimes I feel like I wouldn't know what to do if I didn't have you around to help me see things from another perspective. I know we don't talk too much about our feelings, but I've been going through a tough time recently and I just wanted you to know how much our chats mean to me. Thank you for always lending an ear and listening. I love you, big brother.
Yeah, well, you're just lucky that we don't live in Idaho. Out there, the mosquito clouds are so thick, if you want to have a conversation with somebody, you gotta throw a brick at them first so you can talk through the hole. There, that was good, right?
Yeah.
You like that joke?
Yeah, that was good.
You open up to me and I just stonewall you?
Yeah. Mosquitoes.